when the young rockers stepped onto the stage of Britain's Got Talent. Nobody in the audience quite knew what to expect. They looked small beneath the towering lights and massive backdrop, their instruments almost as big as they were. The judges exchanged curious glances, especially Simon Cowell, who is famously hard to impress. The crowd offered polite applause, assuming this would be a sweet, short performance, something charming but forgettable. But the moment the drummer lifted his sticks and counted in the beat, the entire atmosphere shifted. A thunderous explosion of sound ripped through the theater, electrifying every seat in the house. It wasn't just loud, it was tight, confident, and shockingly professional. The young lead guitarist shredded through the opening riff with a level of precision that seasoned musicians twice his age would envy. The lead singer's voice cut through the music with raw power and emotional grit, instantly commanding attention. Within seconds, the judges leaned forward, their skepticism melting into stunned disbelief. This wasn't a novelty act. This was a real rock band, fierce, fearless, and unbelievably talented. As the performance continued, it became clear that this wasn't just noise and energy, it was artistry. The band transitioned flawlessly between complex rhythms and explosive choruses, each member locked into the groove with impressive chemistry. The bassist bounced across the stage, hyping up the audience while never missing a single note. The drummer attacked the kit with controlled intensity, delivering fills that drew cheers mid-song. Meanwhile, the guitarist launched into a blistering solo that brought the entire auditorium to its feet. Camera shots caught the judges' stunned reactions, eyes wide, mouths open, hands frozen mid-air. Even Simon, known for his cool composure, couldn't hide his amazement. The crowd began clapping in rhythm, turning the theater into a roaring arena. It felt less like a talent show audition and more like a headline concert. By the time the final chorus hit, people were already screaming, sensing they were witnessing something unforgettable. What made the moment even more powerful was the band's story. Backstage footage revealed they were friends who had started playing together in a garage, driven purely by their love for rock music. While other kids their age were glued to screens, these young musicians were practicing for hours, perfecting their sound and dreaming of this very stage. They spoke about wanting to inspire other kids to pick up instruments and follow their passions. Their determination, discipline, and genuine friendship radiated through every note they played. The judges were visibly moved, not just by the performance, but by the heart behind it. You could see the realization dawning. This wasn't just about talent, it was about potential dedication and the revival of rock music through a new generation. The audience sensed it too. The cheers weren't just loud, they were proud. As the final chord rang out, the theater erupted into a standing ovation that seemed to shake the building. The kids stood there, slightly breathless, eyes wide in disbelief at the sea of people chanting their names. Confetti cannons weren't even necessary. The energy alone felt explosive. One by one, the judges began to speak, their praise overflowing with excitement. They talked about stage presence, authenticity, and the rare spark that separates good performers from future stars. Simon paused before giving his feedback, letting the suspense build. He acknowledged how difficult it is to truly shock him after years on television, yet admitted that this performance had completely blown him away. The other judges nodded in agreement, their smiles stretching from ear to ear. The crowd began to chant for the golden buzzer, sensing what might come next. Then it happened. In a moment that felt suspended in time, the golden buzzer was slammed with undeniable force. Golden confetti rained down like a storm of glittering dreams, and the audience's screams reached deafening levels. The kids collapsed into each other's arms, crying, laughing, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what had just occurred. It was one of those rare television moments that instantly becomes legendary, shared, replayed, and talked about for years. Even Simon stood up, applauding with genuine admiration, as the young band celebrated beneath a cascade of gold. The judges joined them on stage, hugging them amid the falling confetti. For those few magical minutes, it felt as though anything was possible. A garage band had just transformed into national sensations before millions of viewers. Long after the episode aired, the performance continued to dominate social media, racking up millions of views within days. Fans from around the world praised the band's talent, energy, and authenticity. Music critics began speculating about record deals, tours, and the bright future ahead of them. But beyond the fame and headlines, what truly made the Golden Buzzer moment special was its reminder that passion has no age limit. These kids proved that greatness doesn't wait for adulthood. It bursts forth when preparation meets opportunity. Their story inspired countless young dreamers to believe that their voices, too, deserve to be heard. And on that unforgettable night on Britain's Got Talent, a new generation of rock stars was officially born.